Attention on deck!
Hi everybody, Army P here for eXplorminate.net, and welcome back to our Let's Try of Stellaris with the new DLC Leviathans. Now, if you remember from our last episode, what we kind of decided to do is we're going to finally get into our first game's large-scale galactic warfare. So our Federation is going to, I'm going to try to convince them as Federation leader, as it stands right now, that we should go to war. Now in the meantime, my lovely science ship has encountered what can only be called as the Crystalline's home star. Now this is an addition to 1.3 that they told us about, that basically in previous iterations of the game you found either giant amoebas or different gas giants or these crystalline entities or energy aliens, all kind of just floating around randomly. Now what they decided to do was make a home star, kind of like a home base for these things where they decided to live or locate or travel the most. Well, looky what I found. Came up as in my Switch situation log, and it's got some serious lens flare going on, and not like a terrible lens flare, kind of like a, was that the new Star Trek movie there where I burn my eyes out all the time looking at the bridge of this Enterprise? I really look at this. It looks like a pulsar. Oh, I guessed right. It's a pulsar, and it definitely is cool because it has, you know, the edges of my monitor all kind of flying up. I'm pretty sure you can see it on your screen as well. But in the meantime, look at these sizable fleets. I mean, this one is massive, you know, and each one of these being a different color, meaning that I'm guessing that they've probably got a different type of weapon system on board. And it's just an awesome sight to see them all kind of just conglomerating here. And of course the end all be all is this lovely beast. I don't even know what you possibly call that. They call it the Crystal Naiadus, whatever that is. So it is a absolute monster, some type of Death Star type crystalline entity. That's probably the best I could possibly describe it. So this is in the Tazari system. So obviously my my science vessel is going to be getting out of there double quick, double slick. Now in the meantime, I'm just waiting for a defensive station to be built. I wanted to see how those kind of played out, and I do believe that there's my construction ship there. So as soon as those start to be completed, what I'm planning on doing is to start my first war. My armada is now being upgraded. You can see here it's upgrading my ships to the most recent design. Any good space admiral will tell you that having a functional and up-to-date fleet with the best trained crew is imperative before you decide to jump into battle. Hopefully, I'm not too sure how long it's going to take that. Building a military station, it looks like it'll be completed pretty quick. Oh, I don't even know why I even bothered. This is my first military station. I thought it would have a pretty decent military power, but it's only got 103. Granted, this is the very first little fortification unit. It's not anything great, so I honestly don't even think that we need to. I don't even think we actually need to even go any further with that, to tell you the honest truth. I was going to build a couple of them with the whole point that military stations, one of the few things that they're actually good for is they have a little faster than light inhibitor. So when you warp into this system, no matter what your faster than light travel, be it hyperlanes, wormholes, or warp, you will actually get sucked in right to here and then get pounded with weaponry systems if they're in range of several different either a space station or different fortifications, as your faster than light cools down and you're able to maneuver. Knowing that it's only like 100 military power, it's actually quite useless. So we're just going to wait for my upgrade, and then we're going to start the negotiations of war and see how this is going to play out. It's kind of curious. I have no idea what kind of fleet construction or kind of ships he has. I just know that his fleet power is equivalent and he's inferior in tech, which is, if any 4X gamer will tell you, that's always good news. Okay. Just want to see if we're still starving. We are not, thank God. That took a long time. These poor people on this planet have been starving for probably a couple years. I'm going to upgrade you and you and you. Why not? There you go. Now we're going to be good for food for quite some time. Okay. 96%. Okay, we are 100% upgraded, giving us a total fleet power of... Where was my armada here? Okay, giving us a total fleet power of 2,778. Not the best fleet I've seen, but that's not really our standpoint as spacefaring cutesies. We're all about all fair and love and war. But that being said, we got a federation of people who've got some pretty sharp claws and some pointy teeth. So as soon as my destroyer here gets into range, we will conglomerate our fleets, and then I believe I'm going to push right to Delta Provinus. Okay, alright, now here we go, the negotiations of war. Do you believe that I'm a ship president? It looks like we're in good shape. Okay, now one of the things I've noticed is I have an option here in the upper bar for my first fleet, my first armada. It says take point, currently set to discourage allied fleets from following. This fleet can take point and allied fleets will attempt to follow it. Okay, so now I'm encouraging my fleets to follow me. I don't know if I necessarily want them to follow me because I'm going to be going to Delta Provinus and I'm going to need some help on this back front, but we'll see how the war goes. I don't have a second fleet. You can see here that my naval capacity, I'm already paying, it's already exceeded, although my minerals wouldn't go. One of the things I like to do, and this is just from playing probably way too much Stellaris, is that I like to get a whole bunch of fleet like on hot standby, like already building, so that when I declare war, if I do take losses, they're instant. Like I'll already have, you know, fleets being built so that if I do get counterattacked, it won't be too bad. Okay, without further ado, let's get into some war. Dislikes me the most. I don't know why I'm even this. I'll just pick them right here. Declare war. Okay, let's just see what our options are. You can see here that my allies do not want to do anything. I don't know if I want to take Delta Provinus or if I want to liberate it. So first thing I want to do is humiliate them. They're both down for voting for yes for that. Stop atrocities. That will encourage them. It will ban the Jakal from being forced to ban slavery and purging. We will also gain 100 influence, which is also good. You can see my influence is a bit on the small side. Now I want to liberate this planet. Now this might be a big one. And they're down for that. Okay, so we got a war score of 57. We want to liberate this sector with the planet inside because I want to be... As soon as you liberate a different planet from an alien race, whatever planet you've liberated will follow your ethos. So they're actually going to become friendly to us. So they can hopefully become... they can become my vassal, or they become my protectorate, which will give me free space, and then eventually I can, you know, integrate them into my society. So, does anybody else have suggested demands? No, everybody seems happy with that. Humiliation, stop atrocities, and liberate a planet. Okay. And the confirmation of war, here we go. The entire Federation has now gone to war. Okay, so... without further ado, let's head to this planet and cause a little bit of trouble. Called Burbit. Sounds about right. Coming from a bird race. Now let's just see who they decide to attack. Okay, who do we got here? Hostile fleet engaged. Looks like we're going to be going after them, and afterwards we're going to be hitting that space station. Perfect. Now that being said, my allies don't know sure what they're doing here. Okay, well, we might as well go right for the thick of it, gentlemen. Let's just see what the space station's made out of, if we can do that. Space station doesn't really show us what their capacities are, what they're shooting with. Got my 2 armies ready to go. Meanwhile, I'm kind of curious here where their fleets are going to be going. Okay, we've got an engagement, a peace treaty deal. Oh yeah, I just did a deal with the Voltnaut, with just doing your standard research exchange. Oh wow. You know what, I will say one thing about this patch 1.3 is I love what they've done visually and sound wise for the combat. It's like great. This like it definitely shows what's going on. You can see here that my destroyers, I've got 30 of them and 21 corvettes. They're using a huge amount of their point defense systems to knock out some of those lasers. And like, look at that. Wow. Have a nice day. Okay, so it looks like everybody here is getting out of dodge. We have I think what we're going to do before we do anything else when it comes to bombardment is take down his warp, his black hole generators, wormhole generators. So we don't want any fleets peeking at what we're doing. Alright.
Construction complete.
Construction is complete, that's fine. I haven't seen any fleets. Invasion. I don't know if my guys were ready for that or not, or what the deal is, but I'm a bit curious if I'm gonna get a big boy counterattack. Okay, we're taking down the wormhole generator. This should be fairly easy. Excellent. Okay, now we're gonna be going to bombarding the planet. So we've got a war score of 0 so far because we haven't really done anything that impressive. I'm going to go to NOLA and embark all. And I probably will do this just to make sure I can get both 100% to make sure that I can liberate this planet, increase our war score. Wow, for I really did expect some type of counterattack, to tell you the honest truth. Research incomplete. Excellent. I've been thinking about doing this particle lances, but it's on an extra large icon. So the extra large icon can only be fitted, I do believe, with cruisers, or it's just battleships. I'm not too sure right now which one it actually is, but I keep putting it off because I can't build them yet. I guess we're gonna go with subspace sensors. Why not? Okay, let's start bombarding the planet. Unlock Psi Warriors. Oh, darn. Just a little bit off. Okay, what should we gonna do instead? Leader capacity, recruitment, social programs. That's not... Oh, I want this one for sure. I get +1 influence per month. I get to build the Empire Capital complex, which is Empire unique, and then a new advanced forms of government. One of the things that I notice a lot of people don't do is they pick a form of government and then they stick to that form of government throughout the entire game. I don't think a lot of people realize that you can go into your edicts and your government and actually change what it is that suits you best. It's I don't know if it's necessarily well explained, to tell you the honest truth, but it is something that you can do to your advantage, because there gets to be a point when your empire is at an absolute monstrous size where you may have had to change your playstyle and you want your government to suit what's best. Excellent. Now I'm able to build cruisers, which is going to be a huge advantage. Of course, I didn't really need it, telling you the honest truth, against this pathetic little empire. Wasn't even ready for a whole bunch of pacifists to come and take them over. I mean, look at me. I'm a giant starfish with a smile on my face that waves to you through the view screen. You can't stop me. I don't know what. Maybe it's time you pack her in and just become slaves. Slaves to a much larger face-sparing race. Okay, let's get these two going. We got 13 troops. Land my armies. Let's see what these cutesy little guys can do in ground combat. The infantry of the space. Oh, looks like we're gonna have no troubles at all here, mopping up any type of local defense. And we have liberated Burbit. The invasion is over. Our war score is now 24. Kind of curious what it's going to do. I'm actually going to take my construction ship and build a military station right here. And that's a tactic I typically use. I don't know if it'll work, but the reason I do that is because if any small transport ships are trying to sneak in behind and land troops on my invaded planet, because you'll notice that my armies here will not heal. They'll take this damage until I'm liberated, or I own the planet or whatever, until the war is officially over anyway. And so they tend to, the AI tends to try to sneak a small transport ship in now and again, but if I have a defensive base, they won't do that, or they won't be able to. Okay, so the liberation, we have started the war, and it has gone excellent, and it's gone really well in our favor. Looks like our Federation is engaged in a battle. I'm not too sure who's who. Okay, so we found an empire of the Jagal, who's now engaging with 18 corvettes with the Hanak or Hantak system. But interesting enough, he's got 1 cruiser, 10 destroyers, and 2 corvettes. Now this is interesting because destroyers should be superior. He's got medium plasma accelerators. They should be superior because of the tracking mechanic, which interestingly enough is not showing up here. So let's just see how this plays out. Even though he's got a higher, well, maybe I'll slow it down to see how this goes. Because you can see here that by all intents and purposes 748 should lose against the different corvettes. So it actually looks like the cruisers, or correction, the destroyers are mopping up pretty good here. So let's see the end of this battle, because it's I'll tell you, I really like the battles the way that they're played out here in 1.3. Oh, he's got 700. I like the plasma balls too. They sound cool. I don't know how well you can hear it. Of course, got the sound turned down rather low, just so that my voice kind of goes above. But this is great. Interesting enough, I can see that he's got shield generation. It must be pretty high, because you can see that little. Yeah. So here you go. Right. So they're just absolutely mopping up. So I honestly think that this military score it's just not hasn't been scaled for 1.3's new class rolls. It almost means nothing if you look at it, right? He's losing almost nothing compared to the massive amount of damage or massive amount of casualties these corvettes are taking. He was able to complete, destroy a fleet much 35% in larger in military power, take minimal losses. And now he's going to be free range onto their transport ships, which are pretty much defenseless. But I definitely like it. You can see here where I've just paused at this cool point, but you can see all of the destroyers hanging back as the corvettes circle around their and shoot at their enemy. So they've even you can even visually see the different ranges that they'll attack on. Unfortunately, these transport ships, I don't know if they're warming up their retreat button or what they're doing, but they're just literally sitting there and taking it. Good shields though, I'll tell you that. Okay, and that's it. That is a massive defeat on the behalf of the Chukal. Okay, everybody, so I'm probably going to stop this right here as we entered into our first Federation war. You can see that our allies have been mopping up. We took I don't think we took a single casualty, to tell you the honest truth. And we were able to liberate the one world that I actually wanted to in Burbit. We're going to continue this war in the next episode. So this has been ArmyP for eXplorminate.net, and thanks for watching, guys.